Eunoia begins with wavering synth keys, which alternate between two laid-back sounding minor ninth chords, D and G. A simple beat patters alongside it, its highest and lowest frequencies filtered, so it sounds like it's being transmitted through a telephone. That contrasts with the opening shout, which suggests a more dynamic arrangement is on the way. Sure enough, a glassy synth line and the words "let's go" ease us into a richer texture, with a beefy kick drum filling in that missing low end, adding to the momentum and driving the track forward. Over this smooth groove, the first verse enters, revisiting a concept that's central to Billie's music. Just as records have an A-side and a B-side, Billlie believed that people do too. We can view the A-side as the part of ourself that we perform to the outside world, while the B-side is our inner self. That duality is reflected in the group's lore, which moves between reality and an imaginary dreamscape. On the opening lyrics of Eunoia, the narrator suggests that another version of her is out there, their two consciousnesses overlapping in conversation. As if to underline that premise, we hear sweet vocal harmonies in parallel thirds. The song so far is firmly in the key of D minor. The following section begins to experiment with this slightly, with a couple of chords that include notes outside of this scale. But that's nothing compared to the chorus. After the repeated word heartbeat and a funky bass slide, we hear the euphoric arrival of a D major chord. But it doesn't last. The very next chord pulls us back towards notes from D minor again. The lyrics here may seem cutesy, but they describe what's going on in the music. The progression flip-flops between major and minor, just as the narrator's A and B sides overlap. The section that begins around 1:55 marks a drop in energy, the percussion cutting out, with only a mellow organ-like synth and airy vocals remaining. Just as the accompaniment drifts unmoored, so does the chord progression, again floating between major and minor, the lack of a clear direction matched by the lyrics. There have been hints of gloom beneath the song's sunny exterior, yet never more so than here. We get lines about this harsh world and the night of an exhausting day, but with the narrator's A and B sides united, this melts into relaxation. The next 30 seconds move quickly through a series of ideas. We get an upbeat rap verse, including a chromatic backing vocal line that subtly emphasizes A-flat, the pitch that clashes most with our home note, D. That dissonance returns in the ghostly wordless passage that follows, as the harmonies squirm about unpredictably. The bass moves to A-flat as the section climaxes, then the tension dissolves into a brief dance interlude. Each chorus ends with the word Eunoia, an ancient Greek term that uses all 5 vowels. It has a suitably mystical quality to it, and also fits the song's concept perfectly. It describes beautiful thoughts, benevolence, and goodwill between a speaker and their audience. That's certainly relevant to Billie's hope that their B-sides will empathise with and be relatable to their listeners. The lyrics immediately before the word Eunoia are "we become one," which we can interpret not only in terms of the two sides of ourselves folded in half, but also Billie's relationship with their fanbase, a crowd that, if the last EP is anything to go by, will only keep growing. For more analysis, you can browse the playlist, subscribe, and support Apocopop on Patreon. See you next time.